What's up, Agency Go fam? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the best cold email templates that you can use to book more meetings. These templates helped us book over 1,731 meetings for our digital marketing agency and generate over $2 million per year. Keep in mind, this is just a sample. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of cold email templates that work in a variety of different situations. That's just one of the few benefits that you get for being an Agency Go member. So if you're interested, go to grow.agencygo.io and sign up today. Let's jump into it.
Now, starting things off, I like to start with this video analysis email. So essentially, I had tested so many different variations of different types of email sequences and copy when I was first getting started. And we were really looking for something that just cut across, their email inbox and was immediately able to get people interested in taking a call with us. And we tested so many different things, but we ultimately realized was that if you create a video analysis for clients, if you say, hey, I did some research on your brand and I have an analysis for you, would you like to see it? People really resonate with that. So specifically, the way that this is phrased for video analysis is, hey, first name, I came across your brand and had my assistant make a free marketing analysis on things I think you can improve. Would you like to see it? Let me know. So there's a couple things going on here. One, obviously, by making a free marketing analysis, people are like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'd love that. I'd love to have a free marketing analysis. And it shows that you're, not just analyzing anything, you're analyzing their specific brand. So that's even better to them, right? And then in terms of their assistant, having the word assistant in there is really good too, because it shows that you have an elite status, right? If you don't have an assistant, you may, maybe you can't use this, or maybe you just go find someone on Upwork and tell them that they're the assistant and they make this for you or something. Like however you want to do it is fine. But point being is that if you can have somebody else make it for you that can be like an assistant, then that's going to actually increase your status. Now, don't worry about it because this still works. Even if you take out the assistant part, you could say, hey, I came across your brand. I have a free marketing analysis I want to make for you. Do you want to see it? That still works perfectly fine. So there's no reason you can't do something like that. The big thing here is that we've A/B tested this versus not having it, and obviously it comes out on top. But the other thing that I will say is that you don't want to give them everything on the email. That was something that I realized recently, like in the last few months, that dramatically improves the open rate and show up rate and meeting booked rate and everything like that. And again, I'm really excited because we'd already booked 1,731 meetings in a year. This is adding even more fuel to that fire and getting more people to show up. And then what we do is we'll have part of the analysis and we'll say, here's a piece of the analysis. I'll go through the full thing on a call, right? And you're creating a reason for them to come on a call with you. A lot of times we would do this and people would say, yeah, thank you for the analysis, I'm good, right? But you've just given them everything. So obviously they're good. There's nothing else. There's no FOMO, right? If you show them some of it and then you say, yeah, I'll give you the full thing on the call, then they become much more receptive to being on the call. The other pro tip here is that you want to book a meeting with them the moment that they say they're interested in the analysis. So you say, hey, I went ahead and booked a meeting for us to go over the entire audit, right? And then what they have to do, and this is the psychology behind it, they have to say, I don't want a super valuable thing. I do not want the audit. And that means that it's a lot harder for them to say that than just to say, I don't want to meet with you, right? It's two different things. So if you can actually give them something valuable, they're turning down something valuable. That takes the whole context of being in a meeting out of the equation, and it makes it a lot less painful for the prospects. So I would try this email variation first. Secondly, I would try this one if you're trying to get partnerships. And if you are an agency at any size, I recommend building as many agency partnerships as possible. When I scaled my agency, so much of my business, over 30% of my business came from agency referrals, and it still is to this day one big reason we've been able to scale. And so what we do is we just think of it in the same way. We think of it as what kind of bait can we offer people to get them to want to meet with us? And the bait that we offer people is we do some research on their location. These are to other agencies, right? To other agencies. And we say, would you like to chat this week? We think there's some ways that our clients could benefit from your services, right? We'd love to learn more and possibly set up a referral partnership. I think this company could be a great part of our ecosystem and your ecosystem, since we spend a lot of time referring businesses to agencies like yourself and also working with clients ourselves as well. Here's my website if you like some context, right? this is a really good email sequence because it's just pure value, right? Who doesn't want to receive leads, like free leads? I mean, you're getting referrals. Like there's no reason somebody would say no to this if they wanted to grow their business. And again, that's what you want to aim for. You want to aim for things where are really difficult for people to say no to. And when you got that, you're going to be running in a good direction. Now we got a couple more sample scripts for you. This one is one that works pretty well as well. As you can see, the subject line is 10,000 plus non-branded traffic. And then you put the name of, the company. And what you're doing is you're basically saying that there is a certain amount of traffic they're currently getting. And you're basically making the point that our company is able to get, so I'll just restart that. So this email variation is basically showing your case studies working with customers, and then also including some of the previous steps that I mentioned about having an analysis. So for instance, in here you could say non-branded traffic makes all the difference. Our clients average 20K in monthly subscription sales from 10,000 a month in non-branded traffic. Can I make a custom-made personal marketing video analysis with actionable steps on how to improve your non-branded traffic for free? If interested, respond with yes, and I'll make it for you. Now, the thing here is, if you're saying our clients, right, you're cementing in their mind that you actually have done this multiple times. It's not the first time this has happened. It's happened multiple times. And so that is a key thing, because it creates certainty that you can actually generate the result that they want, which is growth, right? The second thing is that you're implementing similar strategies from the previous email, which is creating something that they will enjoy. But now the frame is a little different because you're also comparing, and this is a big thing when you're trying to book meetings, you're comparing their business to not just other competitors, but to your clients, which then gets them thinking in the mindset of, oh, this would be what it would be like if I was one of their clients. And they are providing a lot of value by showing me that they know with a lot of certainty that this is going to work for me too, right? I feel like I'm part of this exclusive club that they work with, which is, doing, let's say it's a SaaS company, like they only work with SaaS companies. So I feel great that they're doing this analysis and comparing me to their clients, because their clients are also SaaS companies, if that makes sense. And so that's how I would do this email. This next one is definitely a classic. This one is notice some errors, essentially. This is a big one. So you don't even have to say what the errors are when you first send out the email. But what you want to do is you can say the subject line is like, notice some errors with your website, did some research on your website, ... And then put the company name in there. But the idea is that you basically hit them with, hey, I put together a video with some marketing research on, Xfinity, and I noticed a couple of things I think you can improve. Would you like to see it, right? If there's no response, you're just talking about improvements, and you could even go above and beyond, and you could add things in here like, I noticed, a couple of different things. If you want to customize it, so if you want to handwrite every single, and when I say handwrite, I mean like manually type out every single one of these emails, you could do that too. And if you do that, then you could say, hey, I noticed that you have these five things are wrong with your website. Let's say your website development company. These 5 things are wrong with your website. I'd love to break down all the solutions that we created already. We already created solutions for you to solve these. That sounds a lot better to a prospect. And if you do that, they're going to be a lot more excited to take a call with you. So saying, hey, I noticed some errors is going to create some big FOMO on their part. Because they're like, oh, what's going wrong with my site? You're tapping into that fear complex, that healthy fear complex. Because if they actually do have things wrong with their website, it is your ethical responsibility as a provider of services to tell them about that so they can fix it, right? So this is a classic, and I recommend something like that. And just, change it up for your business, because if you just use the same thing for us, you're not going to get the same results, because you might have a different list, you might have a different demographic. You've got to identify your bait that works really well for these companies. This last script here is a script on how you can create the actual videos. Now, this is just a cookie cutter thing. We actually don't even really use this script that much. This is just how we start all of our new trainees off on making the scripts. The reason why is because what we've realized is if you really want to make killer scripts for marketing analyses and things, you're really going to want to talk a lot about your case studies, your clients, talk a lot about, give them actually real research that can help to grow their business. Pro tip here, if you don't want to make video analysis for everybody, you could just make a video analysis for the industry and then just don't even mention their name. Just say, hey, I did an analysis on, if it's a SaaS company, say I did an analysis on loom.com and I looked at all of their SEO work and I noticed what they're doing, and here's 20 different things that they did. that works really well too. And it's better than just writing an email, and it's not as time intensive as making like a custom marketing analysis. So I'm not going to go through this full script because it's pretty long. I'm not going to just repeat it right now, but you can go through it and you can apply it and customize it to your business. And then to summarize everything, essentially, the way you know if these are working is kind of like I mentioned in my last video. You go into your campaigns. I have them paused right now so I can show you. But if you go into your campaigns from Gmass, if you have that set up, if you're getting a really high open rate, you're getting a really high click-through rate, and you're getting a really high response rate with a low bounce rate and unsubscribe rate, etc. And you always want to give people the option to unsubscribe, of course. But if you have those things and they're very low, then you're obviously doing the right thing. But as long as it's matching up to the goal you're trying to hit, so in this case, this campaign is around my podcast. It's booking dozens and dozens of podcasts per account. It's just very, very effective. When this happens and it's matching that sort of like click-through rate that you have, and it's getting the goals that you want, then you're in the money. You don't need to change things, right? If you can get above 50% open rate and like above a 3% reply rate, that's honestly pretty in the money for most campaigns. You don't want to be below that because you're just wasting time. It takes so long to warm these email campaigns up that if you don't do it right, you're just going to get in trouble with these email providers, and that's not even compliant. So it's not a good thing to do anyways. And secondly, you're going to run into issues which, could further compound as you scale. So I hope that was helpful. I hope seeing these email templates was helpful. As always, if you want to join our Agency Go membership, you can go to grow.agencygo.io. It's a full 30-day money-back guarantee for any reason. Would love to have you there, and hope to see you soon. Thanks.